Hi there, you lovely lot, and welcome to the latest episode of Pat's Procrastination, brought to you by the Pat's Propaganda YouTube channel. Welcome into episode 85, folks. It is the Ryan Izzo episode. I'm kidding. It's the Hunter Henry episode. Technically Ryan Izzo too, but it's the Hunter Henry episode, and it's the very first Pat's Procrastination brought to you in the playoffs. Wowzers. I mean, we've only been going for a couple of years anyway, but he is Chudders. I am Clazzy Clare. And this is Pat's Procrastination playoff episode. Chudders, how are things with you?
Things are good. And not only do we have a playoff appearance, we're going to have another show next week, even if Pats go out. But technically, we'll have two shows, at least, recapping the postseason.
There you have it. Pat's
Did you enjoy the game?
Postseason game recap back, because this is going to be the longest title in the history of podcasting. Did I enjoy the game?
How many games did you watch in the weekend? And so how did it? How did it feel then watching the Pats game?
That's a good question. How many games did I see? Did I see the Green Bay Bears? Saw some of that game. What else? I definitely saw the Bills-Jags game. I have never shouted and rooted so much for another team ever. I don't think. It's not like Patriots or Red Sox type thing, or Celtics or Bruins. I've never cheered so hard for another team as I did for those Jags. So much. Hilarious. What else did I watch? I'm trying to remember. You always do this to me when I'm so sleep deprived, so that my brain is much. Who else played? Tell me, and I'll tell you if I saw the game or not.
49ers Eagles?
That's the one thing I haven't. That's the one game I didn't see, actually. I haven't seen any of that game. I saw who won. Sorry, spoiler alert, folks. If you haven't seen any of these games, we'll probably end up dropping. But I saw who won, but I didn't see the game.
Did you see Rams Panthers?
Some of it, I think. See, I've watched a lot of football between then and now, so that's significant, isn't it? The games that I remember are the Jags-Bills game and the Patriots-Chargers game. All the others are a little bit they just meld into one. Just football players.
Okay, before we get on to next week, then, what were your thoughts? What were your takeaways from the Patriots game?
Why are we getting on to next week? This is a game recap wrap. We talk about the Chargers game, do we not?
You do not listen to me, do you? I said before we get on to next week, what did you think about the Patriots game? What were your takeaways from the Patriots game?
I thought that the defense was fabulous. No? Defense was fabulous.
I agree. I thought the defense was very good. It was helped by a very poor O-line for Chargers.
Are you really going to do the game? Okay.
Do you not think that's valid?
Sorry, folks. I forgot he was Mr. So, it's true. It's not true. But before I forget, big shout out to
I think you can give flowers to them still. I think the Pats played well. I'm not pretending they didn't.
I have stats. I have some information.
Here we go.
This morning. No other team in Super Bowl era has, in the playoffs, done what the defense did. The defense allowed 3 points, had 6+ sacks, allowed 2 or fewer combined third and fourth downs, and allowed 160 pass yards. So they're better than...
Does that mean we're guaranteed the Super Bowl?
No. It just means that they were really good.
I do think the defense. It was obviously clearly a day for defense, because I think Chargers defense kept them in the battle as well. But I do think the Pats defense played well, and I think a lot of that comes down to scheme as well. The disguises that they had. There was talk after the game that the Chargers O-line had said how much the Pats D-line had confused them and muddled them, and yep.
I have been trying to say, but you've interrupted me too many times. I've been trying to give shout out to Zach Kerr for the amazing defensive job that he's doing, because the guy probably rolled into the 2025 season yeah, I'm going to coach linebackers. No way, you're going to have to try and take the Patriots defense to the playoffs. So yeah, you talking about scheme and stuff. I have one valid good point, and you're going to override it if you continue with that sentence. But now you can continue.
The front played well. It played well at the middle, I think. I still think we're lacking a bit of pass rush on the outside. Mm-hmm. Maybe that'll come a bit more with Landry being back from injury. He's maybe still got some engine to rev up, should we say, as we get into this postseason.
Right.
But generally they were pretty good. Secondary, I thought, did pretty well. Obviously, Gonzo, hopefully going to get him back, but we'll have to see how that plays out with injury reports and protocols and whatever this week.
Yeah, last comment was concussion protocol yesterday on, where are we? Today is
Tuesday.
It's barely Tuesday, but it's Tuesday. Yeah, yesterday when Vrabel did his presser, he mentioned that Gonzo was in concussion protocol. So yeah, that was about as much information that was given. So yeah.
Hopefully he's back, because if he's not, then I think the Pats are going to very, very much miss him against this Texans passing attack.
Yeah, sorry folks, spoiler alert, the Texans beat the Steelers, but we'll talk about that.
I think having Robert Spillane back helped a lot. He was active, he was busy, the normal way he is. But the defense played very well. I thought they kept them in the battle.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta admit, I don't know about you, I was surprised. This season, it hasn't necessarily been the defense that we thought were the strength, and then they needed to be, and they were. It was very interesting.
They needed to be, and they were, but I think this is, you don't like it, but this Chargers team is someone who has relied quite heavily on their defense, and their offense hasn't been as strong. They've had so many O-linemen out, it's ridiculous. And so I think that sort of plays to your opposition as well a bit. I think if you'd put that same Pats defense against a different team, you wouldn't necessarily have had as strong a day. But all you can play is what's in front of you. And I thought they were schemed, and they performed absolutely pretty much perfectly to keep them out. So it was the right plan for the right team on the right day.
Don't you ever get tired of not just celebrating?
I am celebrating it, but I'm trying to put it in context so that if things don't go as well next week, we understand why.
Yeah, but
we're not God's gift to the defense. Like you've said that stat about how this is the greatest performance in the Super Bowl era from a defense. That may well be true on the stats, but I don't believe we have the greatest defense that's ever pulled on a jersey in the Super Bowl era.
I never said that. I gave you the information that was presented. I didn't say that they were the best ever. I was just quoting something that was interesting that helped shine the light on that they were really good. To put it into some perspective, as a Patriots fan, watching the Patriots, there was a similar game to this. The last time there was a game like this was the postseason victory, the Super Bowl against another LA team, the Rams.
Yeah, no, and that was all about.
Waited a while for this, so I think I'm just going to.
No, that was all, and that was all about confusion as well, because they'd. I'm trying to remember. Was it they played man all season and then they played zone on the day, and it completely flummoxed Goff, or was it they'd played zone all season and then they played man in the Super Bowl?
I can't remember.
I can't remember which way around it was now.
Zone and then man, I think.
Possibly. Well, it might have been the other way around. But yeah, it was all scheme. It completely threw them off. Defense was on fire that day. Completely agree. And that was quite a high-powered offense in terms of the Rams. I think that season they'd had the highest scoring game ever with, I want to say, the Bengals, where it had been 60 60-55 or something ridiculous like that. And the Pats managed to shut them down. Pats managed to shut down the Chargers, and that won them the game at the weekend. I think it helped as well. This sort of aggressive nature that Harbaugh was taking on fourth downs and going for it rather than taking some points early on, where personally, if I'd have been on their sideline, I would have taken the points, and I wanted the Pats to when they're in a similar position down there. I just wanted, right, get the points, get the threes, keep chalking them up. Let's see how we go. So what are the goods? What were the goods on offense for you?
The kicker had 100% performance rate.
Bingo. And this was a game where that was no, that was a. You're exactly right, but that emphasizes what I was saying for a couple of weeks. It was going to be important to have that in the postseason, particularly low-scoring games like this was. It was going to be important to have this, and so I'm very, very pleased it paid off, and that's why it worried me when he wasn't making those relatively simple kicks, but he was, and you saw it in the other games that were all one-score games, and the fact the week before Tyler Loop for the Ravens, who cost them a playoff berth.
Oh yeah,
these kicks matter, and he got them all. He got them all. Borregales got them all. Full kudos to him.
You say I got to push back though. You saying that Loop cost them the playoffs and stuff. Well,
yep.
You could argue, well, if the offense had played better, they wouldn't have need that score. I wouldn't put it all on one individual in one particular moment. Yes, initially missing that lost the game, but roll back then. Well, they missed other, I can't remember all the details of the game, else I'd quote them, but they've missed other opportunities. It isn't just that one individual. The team lost the game because they didn't do this and they didn't do this and they didn't score more or they didn't defend better. I wouldn't just blame one poor kid with one kick that you cost it, but that's each to their own. You find your way.
I know what you mean, but again, I mean, we can't rehash this, but it comes down to you've got maybe three opportunities in a game, but the expectations are different for kickers than for everyone else.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with the expectation. I was pushing back on you saying he lost the game because if the offense had scored more points, it wouldn't have mattered whether he made that kick or not. And it's all sort of very fickle and subjective. Because one point was if he'd made the kick there, Harbaugh got fired. If he'd have made it, then Tomlin had apparently got fired. So it's all a little bit. That to me, that's you just want to be extra negative about something now and critical. So
I don't think it's being extra negative, game. And I don't think I'd be the only one that would have that view. It is a team game. No, I agree. There's more that other people could have done that, but I think that in those circumstances, and if that's how the Pats lose this weekend, then I'm sure we'll talk about other plays in the game that could have gone a different way, different outcome. But ultimately, it was the kick at the end that lost it or won it, and it can be the opposite. You look at Pats winning their first 2 Super Bowls. That's the reason Vinatieri's in the Hall of Fame. In fact, getting through the championship game as well, the kicks he made there in the snow. Kickers likewise can be absolute heroes.
Yeah, of course. I when they need to do it, they need to do it. Of course, I'm not disagreeing with that whatsoever. I'm pushing back on that it's not all on one guy. It's the whole team. It's the whole game. There's 60 minutes of a game that you can win a game in. They didn't play well enough that they put it down on their kicker. Then you could argue that, or the opponent's defense played that well that they couldn't. I'm not just going to put it all on one guy and go after one guy like what has happened. I think that's really bad. So maybe we should move on.
Anyway, let's not argue about Tyler Loop right now. We've just won a playoff game for the first time in 7 years.
Hey, you started it with your kicker hatred.
I didn't have kicker hatred. I was saying what a good job Borregales had done this week.
Yes, finally. Well,
so what else on offense pleased you?
I got Stevenson on my good list.
Okay.
I also have that Woodson might be my underrated player with his 5 tackles and his 4 assists. And I've also got a little heart around TEs because Westover had a catch, Hooper was blocking, and Henry had a touchdown.
Is Westover a TE or is he a fullback?
He's a fullback. He was a TE, and then they moved.
So you're just claiming him now in the TE column?
No, he was a TE, but now he's a no. You know me. I like fullbacks too. Don't come this like you don't know, or you just don't pay attention to anything I say or my work at all, because everybody else knows that I like tight ends and fullbacks.
Did you have any interesting adjectives this week?
No, I wondered about this. I didn't. I wrote down so much information about the game that, to be fair, there wasn't a load to get all super duper excited about. I have highlighted some things. What did I get? No, Barringer got a great punt. The Chargers on the 8-yard line. That's not an adjective, obviously. Stevenson. Ooh, stepping out of group, dancing around. No, doesn't look like it. Sorry, folks. Okay.
Fair enough.
Oh, I got defense was dominant, but that doesn't really count, does it? Oh, I got a yeah, baby.
Okay, who got a yeah, baby then?
Hunter with his touchdown pass.
Okay, yeah, fair play.
He got a yeah, baby.
What did Hooper get for his 2 drops?
Boo. That's not great. Nothing. I didn't write that down. I did make a note that he shouldn't be doing that somewhere.
I agree.
Hey, I'm not going to celebrate when someone's not.
No, I agree.
But no, my notes tend to be a little bit more on the positive side.
Excellent.
Because we don't really want to sit and talk about loads of negative stuff, do we?
No. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, can we talk about Drake May?
You can do if you want to.
What did you think of his day?
He didn't have his best day.
I'd agree. It certainly the turnovers were a big worry. And I'm surprised to some extent that you can turn the ball over like that a couple of times and still come away with a pretty comfortable win in the playoffs. Because if you'd have told me that's this is going to be his stat line for the game, I'd think, I'm not sure what I say, and I say that mean more around his passing game. Obviously, with his legs, I think that was a big difference in the game. I know you're not as much of a fan of a running quarterback, but I'd love to see
such evidence so that you just listen to what you want to hear. Ugh. This is the age-old. He wanted Jaden Daniels. I wanted Drake.
No, I wanted a quarterback with more mobility.
Slightly now.
I wanted Daniels over May, but ultimately it was a quarterback with legs. I wanted a more mobile quarterback, which May had.
I wanted May, so technically I
you
wanted
did
what he is.
No, you didn't. You didn't like quarterbacks that use their legs.
No, I never ever said that I don't like quarterbacks that use
I'm about to get the takes for this.
I didn't say that I don't like quarterbacks that use their legs. I actually said that Jaden Daniels runs too much. That's what I said. It was a specific. It wasn't in general. It was a specific. He's nodding like yeah, and
he is nodding like yeah.
Yeah,
but fair, I got it wrong because I wanted Fields, not Matt Jones, and it turns out that Matt Jones is the only quarterback from that draft that's still in the playoffs right now, albeit a backup.
There you go. And I wanted Matt Jones. I didn't want Justin Fields.
You don't like quarterback with legs. No, May. I thought with his legs, it was truly a game changer. I think it made the difference. The O-line. We can move on to the bad. The O-line was bad. And so his ability to either make the play quick enough to step up in the pocket or to even then use his legs and exploit the space really made the difference. He didn't get it right every single time, but he got it right easily enough times for it to win the game. I think it made the difference.
I'm going to direct them at you if I start getting like hate mail that I don't like movable quarterbacks, because this is really on you, because that's not what I said at all.
It's fine.
I wanted Drake May at the beginning. I just think you enjoy it when I lose football, to be honest.
You did want. I'm not saying you didn't want Drake May. You did. You got that right.
I think May looked like he had a bit of playoff jitters. Now, he shakes things off very quickly. Oh, sorry, you'd moved on to the O-line, hadn't you? Sorry, I missed my point though. He shakes. The one thing that's positive about a negative is he does seem to shake them off, as in he'll get an interception and then he just moves on, which some quarterbacks don't seem to move on as quickly. Now it's the NFL, so you've got to. I get it. But yeah, he does seem to like, and I don't know if that's something to do with Drake May or also something to do with Vrabel, because he was very much like he would, he put the kicker back out there when the kicker missed type thing to induce his confidence and stuff like that. So, but I think he did just seem that bit jittery. He did just seem to run a little bit more than maybe was necessary. Perhaps. I think Phil Perry said, does he understand when he's in danger? That's the thing. That's a concern about it. But
I'd say that didn't reflect in his run game, though, because the runs he was making were exploiting space. He wasn't, and I know you don't like him, so I'm trying to harp on too much, but like Josh Allen makes runs, and Cam Newton used to do the same, where they run through contact, and it's kind of dangerous, if you like, as much as some big guy's going to hit him one day and he could get injured. Drake was sliding well before. In fact, there was a couple of times I think he didn't even make the first down marker when he possibly could have and probably should have, because he was, now I'm going to give myself up early and let's live to fight another day. But it was always exploiting the space. So I didn't think the runs were dangerous or bad reads or anything like that. I thought they were all pretty well calculated. Well, no, was it Phil you were quoting? I can't remember. Who, said maybe he wasn't making the best choices, but I thought he was.
I think some of it, yes, some of it, no. As I said, it seemed to me like he had a bit of maybe playoff jitters, but then he'd seem to be, I don't know, then he'd seem to shake it off. I thought it was a bit, he wasn't quite wholly himself, as to me, from watching, but that's just my perspective.
I may be wrong. So
he did well. I'm not saying he did badly.
I think it was, my reading of it was less jitters, because I agree with you. He was able to shake off his bad plays and carry on, and it helped to march down the field and win the game. I didn't think it was so much jitters. I think it was just the pressure from a very poor O-line performance meant he was more flustered, because there was times when he's having to run around and throw the ball away or take a sack because he didn't have the time that he wanted and needed for the play.
Yeah, fair point.
Was my view of it, because it really was a bad day for that O-line, which is a slight worry, because most of that's your O-line now for the rest of the postseason. Wilson was back, Campbell was back, but they didn't perform well enough. Let's hope that was a blip.
That it wasn't so much that they were just bad, full stop, 100%. It was the inconsistency. There'd be one play and he'd look really strong, and then the next play it seemed to fall apart. It was like, watching two different sets even. So I think that was the frustrating thing. So, but not a great game for the O-line.
Stretch,
which isn't good.
Stretch I want to put on the bad list, because I didn't understand why we went for one after the touchdown and not two, because we were up 12. And why go up 13? Surely you want to go up 14 at that point. It obviously didn't make a difference in the end. But it made me
for that,
because so I expect him to be the Ernie Adams role. He should be the calm head that says up in the skybox, kind of or the strategy when you're going to take timeouts, reading the game, remembering situation. When Vrabel's down at field level celebrating, we just got a touchdown. I expect Stretch in his ear to be saying, "Go for two, go for two."
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's Vrabel that calls it. It may be Stretch, and I suppose it is entirely possible that Stretch said in his ear, "We need to go for two," and Vrabel overruled him. So I suppose I should say that caveat. But that's, in my opinion,
where information from.
In my opinion, that's the Pats should have gone for two. And again, that's just sort of didn't matter in this game, but it's the game management. You think, okay, I hope that's not the sort of thing that comes back to haunt you, because had the Pats, and they so nearly, I think, on the next drive, gave up a touchdown. What was it? I think it was the fumble that was so close to being picked up, and it would have been an immediate score because there was no one to stop him. But the Pats managed to recover it. I think the O-line, I can't remember which one it was, but one of the O-linemen jumped on the ball to get it when it was going to be about to be a scoop and score. And you thought, oh, if Chargers had got that, momentum would have completely flipped. And the Pats are going to be in a position where they technically could lose by one here with the last kick of the game or something, because they didn't go for two and they only went for one. Didn't play out that way. That's fine. Just a minute, as I was watching it, that was a feeling I had. Frustration.
No, I just wondered why you put Stretch on the bad list, but that's, yeah, you're saying in your opinion it's on him. That was all.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know, maybe he did say it and maybe he was overruled, but my assumption would be that's the sort of thing he's meant to be trusted with in the consigliere of Vrabel in his ear, to tell him in these game strategies when to be taking the timeouts, when to be, what moves to be making. Let's run the ball here. Let's whatever. Okay, should we move on?
Yeah. Yes, we probably should.
Last night, Texans blew out the Steelers, which is very entertaining because I hate the Steelers, so I'm quite pleased with that. I'm interested from their perspective to see now whether they keep Tomlin or not, because I think they haven't. It's something like 7 straight playoff games they've lost now in a row, which is quite funny. For the Steelers, Texans coming in, they've just played very well. It's going to be a similar kind of matchup to what you've just had, but I think the Texans are better than the Chargers. Not that I'm completely fearful of the Texans, but I'm expecting it to be a similar-ish type game, but a bigger test than we just had. What are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I agree. I was going into this when we were talking about picks and who do you want to have to play against and stuff after the win. I said to you, it was a heart thing. I wanted the Steelers to lose just because I don't like the Steelers. I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. So I just didn't want them to get any further, regardless of who they were against. It was the principle of don't go any further, the same as the Bills. And then obviously the realism of, but the Texans have got probably one of the top defenses in the NFL currently. Yeah, that was like sort of, oh yeah, but is their offense that good sort of thing? That's what that was, the oh yeah, whatever kind of thing. And now in the light of day, it's wow, 30-6. Oh, oh, now I don't know how I'm feeling. Would I have felt more confident? Would we be playing the Steelers, that we could beat the Steelers sort of thing? So yeah, my heart thing, one of them's going, I told you so.
I don't think it's,
you wanted it, you've got it.
it's nothing the Patriots should be fearing. Not that I'm sure they're going to fear any game, but there's if the Seahawks win their 2 games comfortably to get to the Super Bowl, then I think they're going to be favorites, whoever they're playing. For example, that you'll be going into that as underdogs. I haven't seen what the line is for the Texans game. I suspect it'll be pretty damn close. Texans might even be slight favorites in that game. But I expect this Patriots team to fight.
Yes.
They've got grit.
That I agree. See, it's one of those. Now we've had the Chargers game. I'm not in any way concerned. Probably should be a little bit, but about the Pats defense against the Texans offense. To be honest, that's like, I'm not that concerned about that. It's the Pats offense against the Texans defense that has me a little bit like we talked about. Look, we talked about the O-line and stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
It's interesting because I've probably got the opposite view.
Oh.
I'm probably pretty confident whoever the Patriots play, that they can get to, and this is going to sound stupid because they only got 16 points at the weekend, but they can get to 20 points, 24 points. Like, they can get a couple of touchdowns, a couple of field goals. They can get some points against nearly anyone. And as much of that confidence is in Josh Daniels and his experience of being able to pick apart defenses, scheme something, sequence plays, I kind of have a confidence in him to be able to quarterback the quarterback, if you like, coach the quarterback through, as well as everything you were saying about Drake May, his composure, his ability to shrug off any mistakes that he might make. I kind of, and the run game, which has been very, very, very good. I kind of have confidence in the team to be able to put up points. Whilst this was a very good performance from the defense, I'm not completely sold that that is the identity of the defense. It was the performance of the defense. I don't think it's necessarily the identity. And my fear is, and now we can get into our predictions, is that the Pats could put up 24 points, but I feel like the Texans could get 27, which is my prediction. Let's get to that.
Wow. You're predicting a loss.
I'm predicting a loss. I don't want to. I hope I'm wrong. This Texans team looks good. I don't think the Pats have anything to fear. It's not a negative shot at the Pats whatsoever. I think they've been brilliant. I just think this Texans team is going to come in fighting tough. They've just gone away to a difficult environment. There was the stats going in, and you shouldn't buy too much in that, was that the Steelers haven't lost a home Monday night game since 1992. And the Texans haven't won.
Wait, I told you that.
You did. I'll be honest, I did know it before you told it to me, but you did share it.
Like, wait, he's taking
the stats going into it. Oh, this is a possibility for the Texans. They didn't care. They turned up and they showed out. They balled out, and I expect them to do the same. They're not going to be daunted about coming to Foxborough on Sunday. And I do think they're going to be tough. I do think they're going to be tough, sadly. I hope I'm wrong. But it's things, and it is things like his Gonzo fit, because that's your number one corner could be gone. And this Texans offense is good.
Mm-hmm.
What's your prediction for the game? You haven't given a prediction.
2016 Pats.
2016 Pats. I like that. I hope you're right. Is there any preference you have? Let's say the Pats win. Is there any preference you have on Bills or Broncos? Do you want to go into Denver for the championship game, or do you want to host the Bills at Foxborough?
We haven't got enough time for me to agonize over this, so I'll get back to them next week.
When it's all happened.
Yeah. There you have it, folks. Because we need to give people their day back. Our day back and their day back. So there you have it, folks. Episode 85, the Hunter Henry edition of Pat's Procrastination. There was still some arguments, unfortunately. I thought it was going to be a really nice episode, but it didn't work out like that. I should have known better. Naive by me. But that is it. The first playoff Pat's Procrastination, and hopefully not the last. Tune in next week, and as always, go Pats.
Left you.